Uncle Mort's Celtic Fringe by Peter Tinniswood. The blood-red beetle was in high good humour. They were on the open road once more, and its mood was skittish. It played pranks on the skitting-scatting roads of the lazy vale. It judded its brakes on the brow of a panting hill. It golloped its steering on a snitchy blind corner. It snatched its clutch in a shallowing ford. Villages sainted by sun and thawed by sea.
Closed curtains, shuttered windows. What secrets lurk behind those bolted doors? Breeders of ornamental waterfowl, hoarders of wet batteries and £2 jam jars, collectors of burglars' collar studs. The world is indeed a mysterious place, Carter. Have you ever seen a pango in?
No.
You see, lad? You see? I'll rest my case.
Witch and raven, wrecker and pirate, poacher and plunging gannet. The road zigzagged sheer and giddy down the side of the cliff. They eased themselves out of the car and clambered down to the sand-wedged arc of the curving bay. The sea-soft hiss, the rasp of salt-bleached grass.
You can feel history all about you here, Carter. You can breathe it. You can hear it.
Aye.
Blood-curdling, gore-crazed yells, screams of terror, the choking cries of the damned, the shrieks of the doomed, the howls of the butchered. Just like Cardiff Arms Park when Wales play England. Do you fancy a game of beach cricket?
Why not?
They found driftwood for a bat and a crab shell for a ball. They played a test match, England versus Australia. Don Badman scored 592. Uncle Mort was out first ball.
You bugger! You've been tampering with that crab shell.
He was in a sulky mood as they nuzzled at their first pints of the day.
The world's going to the dogs, Carter.
Why?
They want to introduce ballroom dancing into the Olympic Games.
Do they?
Certainly, lad, certainly. Next thing it'll be piano tuning and synchronised nose picking.
You stand a good chance of a bronze medal there.
Nay, lad, nay. Not if the Latvians turn out a full squad.
Uncle Mort yawned. He scratched himself. He shuffled mustily to the bar and ordered 2 more pints of beer. The landlady drooped a weary cleavage at the pump and said,
"Do you want to contribute?
What to?
We're collecting to buy a new lifeboat."
Well, judging by the state of your ale, missus, you need it urgent.
He slouched back from the bar, slumped the beer on the table, and sank wearily into his chair.
Oh, I feel right aimless today.
So do I.
Weary.
Me too.
I'd like to find a cave in that cliff yonder and curl up and go to sleep for 100 years.
Aye.
And do you know what I'd find when they woke me up with a stale Eccles cake and a mug of lumpy cocoa?
What?
Your mother had forgot to cancel me Reader's Digest.
I didn't know you read it.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to do with it, is it?
When they left the pub, the landlady called out to them,
"Well, don't blame me if you get into difficulties out at sea."
Never mind the sea, missus. I've enough difficulties on land trying to work them bloody phone cards.
They shambled back to the car. They sighed. They yawned.
Oh, I just can't keep awake, Carter.
Neither can I.
Must be the air. All I want to do is sleep, sleep, sleep. It's always the same when I venture west of the Pennines. I've never managed to stay awake longer than 5 minutes in Manchester.
Neither of the Mancunians.
The listless gulls, the slacking tide, the fulmars droop. They rested their backs against a solemn boulder and gazed out onto the strand. A snotty coven of small boys was playing football. They kicked, they hacked, they tumbled, they squabbled.
A nation of natural sportsmen, the Welsh. Jimmy Wilde and Tommy Farr, Di Reese and John Charles, Cliff Morgan and Icky Williams.
Icky Williams? Who's Icky Williams?
Ye gods, the youth of this country. No sense of history. No feel for the nation's heritage. No wonder dandruff's gone out of fashion.
Who's Icky Williams?
Who's Icky Williams? Next thing he'll be asking me who Robinson Cleaver is. Listen to me, Carter. Icky Williams was the finest, the most noblest sportsman ever to set foot outside the Principality and display his dazzling skills and multifarious talents to the adoring hordes beyond the bounds of Offa's Dyke.
I see. And did he play the theatre organ as good as Robinson Cleaver?
He played rugby league, Pillock. Rugby league, lad! The game of giants! The game of titans! Icky Williams was the greatest giant and titan of them all. A man-mountain, 6'4" in his boozers Wellingtons, broad as a vat of mule droppings, strong as a polecat's earwax. Icky Williams, sportsman, hero and colossus. And I'll tell you something else, too.
What?
He was the dirtiest bugger ever to tread the rugby fields of the north of England.
Was he, bigod?
Aye. Certainly, lad, certainly. During the course of his career, he was dismissed from the field on no less than 137 occasions. 16 times he was sent off for reaching the referee's watch. 5 times he was sent for an early bath for setting fire to the linesman's singlet. Hey, and once he was sent to prison for 9 months in Wakefield jail.
What for?
Defacing a portrait of Dame Anne and Eagle at Featherstone Rovers.
Ah.
I've got a cutting of him in my wallet. You want to see it?
Why not?
After many a curse and many a mournful groan, Uncle Mort extracted the brittle wallet from his jacket pocket. He opened it and turned his back to the wind.
I don't want all my dry cleaners' tickets blowing, you see.
The cutting was flimsy and faded. He handed it to Carter Brandon, who read it slowly and carefully.
It's not a bad recipe for bilberry tartlets, isn't that?
The other side, bacon balls.